These are key questions, and we got to figure out what are the technologies, how can we use them, how can we be effective, what do they mean for us, and what's tomorrow going to look like given that. Very excited for you all to join. This is kind of cool for us. We're trying something a little bit different, and it's anyone who's been on a Zoom with me, you'll recognize that background. I brought it out of my basement all the way to Florida just for this event. We're mashing up the two sides of my life, the future of insurance and PLRB, supporting current insurance and the future possibilities for us. You know, it's what this event is all about. What we wanted to do is get into a little bit of technology, a little bit of trends, and different programming from some of the other things that we've got going on here, just to get people thinking and, what are the things that are going to hit us? What are, I go back to my days in claims when it was like drones were just coming on the scene, and every conference, every hand that went up was an adjuster who's like, when do I lose my job? When like a drone's going to take over? And Ray, you taught us, it doesn't have to be that way. The drones can save you from having to lug ladders around and get all those views that you couldn't get otherwise or wouldn't have been safe to get. So we face, it wasn't just drones, we face these kinds of things all the time. AI, ChatGPT, NLP, whatever other letters that I certainly don't really understand and ask my son to explain to me. This is what's going on right now. And it will continue to go on. We're always going to face something that pushes us forward, and then the question is that the end of what I do? Is that an enabler for what I do or how I do it? Can I do it better? Can I use it to focus more on the things that matter that I wish I had the time for, and less on the things that frankly frustrate me about my job or I wish I didn't have to deal with, so I could get back to putting the lives back together when it comes to a claim? These are key questions, and we got to figure out what are the technologies, how can we use them, how can we be effective, what do they mean for us, and what's tomorrow going to look like given that. So we've got three fantastic presenters who join us to bring some of that perspective. We're going to first up have my friend Emma Roloff, who, if anyone is a fan of insurance TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever, you probably already know Emma, but she's the director of North American P&C sales for EIS. And she's going to talk about, basically what I was just saying, that whole notion of, is AI coming for my job? Will it steal my job? Well, Emma says no, but it will change it. And I said no, but growth is happening, right? We're going to remember that from yesterday. But actually, in all fairness, that is exactly what these moments are about. Nick's talk wasn't just a fluke, like that should set up this whole event. And then all the way from Germany, Nils Malo joins us. He's the founder and CEO of a company called ClaimsForce, and he's talking about improving customer experience and the position that puts adjusters in to be able to do the job, the way that we wish we could. The way that we want to, but for all the other things on our plate or the complications we face, what if we could actually get through to that caring moment, putting that life back together in its purest form? And again, that's a growth kind of view on these things and technology, rather than a, oh no, kind of moment. And lastly, I don't know if she's somewhere and I just can't see her, but Sri Ramaswamy, who is the founder, and so there she is, founder and CEO of Charlie AI. She's talking about another one of these three-letter technologies, natural language processing. Can that save claims? There's all these great titles, there's all this technology. What does it all mean for the future of the world that we live in and the possibilities for how we can do those jobs? So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to call Emma up to lead things off.